Is there proof for God? In this video, we present step-by-step reasoning for the existence of God. In each step, we provide a statement, followed by an explanation to clarify the terms and the concepts. If any concept is unclear, please leave a comment with your question and we will respond. Step 1. It is impossible to cross an infinity. Explanation. If you start counting 1, 2, 3 onwards, you will never actually reach infinity, no matter how long you count. So, it is logically impossible to complete the action of counting to infinity, and actually reach infinity as proof of completion. Similarly, it is logically impossible to complete the crossing of an infinite distance, no matter how long you travel. This is what we mean when we say that it is impossible to cross an infinity. Step 2. Therefore, it is logically impossible to cross a temporal infinity, or a causal infinity, or a contingent infinity. Explanation. A temporal infinity is an infinity of time, e.g., seconds, minutes, years. We have already seen that it is impossible to cross an infinity. This is true for any kind of infinity. So, it is impossible to cross an infinity of time. A causal infinity is an infinity of causes and effects, e.g., a series of dominoes. Since it is impossible to cross an infinity, it is impossible to cross an infinite series of causes. A contingent object is an object whose existence depends on another object. For instance, your existence depends on the prior existence of your parents. Since it is impossible to cross an infinity, it is impossible to sequentially cross an infinite series of contingent objects. A contingent event is an event whose existence depends on the prior existence of a prior object or event. E.g., the event of you driving your car depends on the prior existence of you and your car. Since it is impossible to cross an infinity, it is impossible to sequentially cross an infinite series of contingent events. Therefore, it is logically impossible to cross a temporal infinity, or a causal infinity, or a contingent infinity. Step 3. Therefore, there must be a first cause. Explanation. The previous steps showed that we cannot cross an infinite series of causes. So, there cannot be an infinite series of causes that led to us, or our universe, for instance. That means that the chain of causes that led to us, or our universe, must be finite. So, the chain had a beginning. The first cause at the beginning of that chain is the first cause. Therefore, there must be a first cause. Conclusion. We can label this first cause as the creator, since it is the cause, or the creator, of everything that exists. And then ask the question, what are the logical requirements for such a creator? Step 4. The first cause must be an ontologically self-sufficient entity, whose existence is not externally caused. Explanation. An ontologically self-sufficient entity is an entity whose existence depends only on itself, and not on any external object or cause. If the first cause were not an ontologically self-sufficient entity, then its existence must depend on an external, previous cause. And if so, the non-self-sufficient first cause is no longer the first cause, and its previous cause would be the first cause instead. Therefore, the first cause must be an ontologically self-sufficient entity, whose existence is not externally caused. Step 5. The action of the first cause is not externally triggered. Explanation. If the first cause A is externally triggered by a prior cause B, then first cause A is not the first cause. So there cannot be an external trigger for the action of first cause A. Therefore, the action of the first cause is not externally triggered. Step 6. The action of the first cause is internally initiated. Explanation. In the previous step we saw that the action of the first cause cannot be externally triggered. Therefore, it must be internally initiated. Step 7. An internally initiated action is a volitional action. Therefore, the first cause is a volitional cause, and therefore, the first cause is a mind. Explanation. Only a mind is capable of volition. A mind has the ability to decide to act, and to cause an action, without any external trigger. In contrast, material entities require an external trigger to act. So, the first cause, which cannot have an external trigger, must be a volitional cause, and therefore, a mind. Step 8. This first cause is the cause of all contingent reality, including physical reality. Explanation. Contingent reality is the totality of all entities and events that are contingent, i.e., whose existence depends on something external to themselves. We have seen that the series of contingent entities, or events, cannot be infinite. Therefore, there has to be a first cause whose existence is not contingent on anything else. So, this first cause is the cause of all contingent reality. Step 9. The mind with the characteristics listed above is God. I.e., in philosophical theism, we use the word God to refer to that mind that is proved to exist in the reasoning above. Step 10. Therefore, God exists. Conclusion: God exists. Note: in addition to this chain of reasoning, there is significant scientific evidence that confirms, i.e., is consistent with, the existence of God. We will cover these in other videos.